No, it's okay. And a very good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to Sports Singapore's live coverage of the 2021 National School Games. This is, of course, an initiative of the Singapore Schools Sports Council, supported by the Ministry of Education. I am Ahmad Akhtar, and we are broadcasting live from Canberra Secondary for what should be an entertaining afternoon of badminton action. This is the third and fourth playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship between Xinmin Secondary School and Bowen Secondary. We are, of course, on court number 1, just 2 courts down, and adjoining court, court 3. We have the grand final taking place. That is between CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls' School and Singapore Chinese Girls' School. Now, kicking off proceedings today in Canberra Secondary's Indoor Sports Hall, we have representing Xinmin Secondary, Nicole Im Sun Ting, and she will square off against Bowen Secondary's Su Li Li. This is the first singles match. It is, of course, a best of 5 match tie. Following this, we'll have the first doubles, followed by the second singles, second doubles, and third singles. The live stream, of course, is available at the address you see on your screens at the moment, go.gov.sg/NSG. You can also catch up on fixtures and results across a suite of other sports. And we are also live on SG Sports TV's official YouTube channel. So as I mentioned, it's a best of 5 tie. But important to note here that should either team win the entire tie 3-0 or 3-1, the organisers and conveners have mandated that all 5 matches be played. This is with a view to ensuring fair play, as it gives all 7 players on each team a chance to participate. And these youth really need all the exposure they can get at this stage. Of course, the full squads consist of around 12 members, including substitutes and reserves. I'm just about to get underway this first singles match of the third and fourth tie. first blood goes to Su Li of Bowen Secondary. And she is, of course, at the bottom of your screen, or to the right of your screen. And the blue top and fluorescent yellow shoes. Nicole Im Sun Ting, black top and blue kicks. 2-love, 3-1, I beg your pardon, to Bowen Secondary. 4-1 now, a very racy early start. Both players appear to be struggling with their serve early on. Perhaps just getting used to the occasion. It was it's a high stakes contest, no matter which way you see it, even though this may not be the final. Still plenty of bragging rights to play for, to cement their position as the third best team in this North Zone B Division Girls Championship. Both sides were convincingly beaten in their respective semi-finals. Xinmin losing out to CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls' School 1-4, while the Singapore Chinese Girls' School have really been the dominant force throughout this competition. They whitewashed Bowen Secondary 5-0. Just a case of turning up against better opposition, quality opposition on the day. 7-4 now to Su Li in this first game of the first match. Not quite yeah, host of unforced errors from both players early on in the piece. And that one's landed just in. Nicole Im Sun Ting has clawed things back. She's just behind by a single point now. Great smash there to restore parity. I beg your pardon. 9-7 to Bowen Secondary.
Service over. 8-9. Service over. 10-8.
10-8 now. Not much separating the two players at this stage of the game. Now, this being B Division, we're looking at girls in Secondary 3 and Secondary 4, ages about 15 to 16 years old. The NSG, of course, also encompasses both the A Division as well as the Senior Division. Yeah, that smash was too good for Su Li as we head into the first interval of this first game. When the leading score, of course, reaches 11 points, there will be a 60-second interval. At the end of every game, there will be a 2-minute interval, and between each match, there'll be another 2-minute interval. So not a whole lot of rest for these players. Badminton is, of course, a fast, explosive sport, and lots of stamina required, plenty of concentration, quick reflexes, and anticipation. So the fitness levels need to be spot on. Xinmin ahead 11-10 in this first game.
Thank you, coach. Player.
And even though the scores
11-10.
fairly even at the
Play.
moment. It seems as though both players are still finding their feet. A little bit leaden-footed, perhaps not moving around as nimbly as they would have expected. So, of course, quite humid as well in this indoor sports hall at Canberra Secondary. We do have
10.
fans available, but they cannot be switched on
Service over. 11, 12.
owing to the lightweight nature of the birdie. Obviously, can't afford to have any untoward. As we see Xinmin and
14,
Nicole
11.
Im Sun Ting has now opened up a 3-point lead in game one, having come from behind. So an impressive effort from the young girl.
15, 11.
Seems to look
11.
to winning this first game. Again, just a reminder that 2 courts down, you can probably hear some of the Singapore Chinese from
Service over.
Nicole Im Sun Ting.
13, 17.
13-17 now. Su Li will really need to start turning on the style immediately if she's to claw her way back.
Service over. 18, 13.
Bit of a tall order, but anything is possible in the sport, and in any sport, of course. It's the beauty of sport, is the unpredictability. But at this stage, Xinmin
19.
back to the action here at Canberra Secondary Indoor Sports Hall. We're on court number 1. Secondary, 3rd, 4th playoff. Xinmin and Nicole Im Sun Ting securing the first game for her school. Su Li will really be looking to mount a comeback here to push this match into a decider. And if you tune in, you'll have the pleasure of listening to my colleague Abhishek Ravakrishnan and national badminton team doubles player Wei Han. Back on court number 1.
Service over. 2, 8.
Su Li finally securing her second point of this game.
Service over. 9, 2.
Not sure what was mentioned in discussions with her coach during the interval,
10,
but it
2.
doesn't seem to be paying off as yet. 10-1, not insurmountable, but extremely difficult
11, 2.
to
Interval.
come back from as we head into another interval. Now, speaking of other sports, in this year's NSG, we have competition across 11 other sports. They're all non-contact, of course, owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. So aside from badminton, we have tennis, table tennis, volleyball, sepak takraw, wushu, taekwondo, shooting, golf, rope skipping, bowling, and gymnastics. Another fun fact for you, a total of 12,000 students from 270 schools, both primary and secondary, are competing in this year's NSG,
Part 1, 20
which should really
seconds.
benefit the
Part 1,
youth
20
sports scene
seconds.
in Singapore.
Okay, player.
The full NSG complement would be 29 sports, including contact sports. In previous years, 60,000 students have competed. Obviously, there was no NSG last year due to COVID, so the last time these games were held was back in 2019. And hopefully, the full complement will happen in 2022, or if not, by 2023. think what Nicole Lim Sun Ting has really done quite well is she's pushed her opponent back and then brought her forward numerous times, so really running her ragged across the court. This time she fluffed her lines. A rare unforced error from Nicole Lim Sun Ting. 4-13. Will be a reservice for Su Li because of the let. Lovely touch there.
Service over, 14-4.
7 points now from the match, and from helping Xinmin secure a 1-0 lead in this 5-match tie. There's a commanding smash there, Nicole Lim Sun Ting. 16-4 now. Both these teams are extremely hard working. I spoke to the coaches before this contest to put in significant time training every week on top of their studies and extracurricular activities. Between 9 to 12 hours of intense badminton training a week, and that is quite commendable for these girls at the tender age of, well, between 15 and 17. It really shows their dedication and passion towards sport, and really encouraging signs for other students and other Singaporeans who are thinking of taking up a sport.
20 match point 4.
As you heard there from the umpire, 24 match point now for Nicole Lim Sun Ting. Oh, she went for glory. She found the net.
Over, 5-20.
A little consolation there for Su Li. The end is nigh. And she's gone for it again, and this time she succeeds. So the second time of asking, Nicole Lim Sun Ting secures a comfortable victory for Xinmin. They take a 1-0 lead in this 5-match tie. We'll be back with the second match, which is the first doubles, in just about 2 minutes. Welcome back to live coverage of the 2021 National School Games. I'm Ahmad Akhtar. This is an initiative of Singapore Schools Sports Council, supported by the Ministry of Education. You're watching the third and fourth playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship between Xinmin Secondary and Bowen Secondary.
Players ready to play?
Best of five match tie. Xinmin prevailing in the first singles relatively comfortably in straight games. The first doubles is about to get underway. And representing Xinmin is the captain, Yuan. She's wearing the knee brace on her right knee.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Xinmin Secondary,
partnering her
represented by
is Tan Yiqi.
and Tan Yiqi. And on my left, Bowen Secondary,
Bowen
represented
Secondary.
by Mak Wei Chi and Julia Ng. Bowen Sec to serve.
Bowen Secondary,
Yiqi
we have
with Mak Wei Chi.
Mak Wei Chi,
Level
slightly
eight.
shorter of the two girls, and Julia Ng. And of course,
Service over, 1 love.
just a few meters to my left, the grand final between CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls' School and Singapore Chinese Girls' School is also taking place. That's on court number 3.
Service over, 1-2.
SCGS drew first blood in that contest. They won the first single, so they are also contesting the first doubles
2 all.
match. Back on court number 1, 2-all between these two sets of young ladies.
Out. Service over, 3-2.
Of course, it's imperative that Team Bowen recover and try and win this one to level the tie at 1 apiece, because once you fall behind 2-0, it's a tall order
3 all.
to make a comeback. Now, should either team win the entire tie 3-0 or 3-1, in the interest of fair play, the organisers and conveners have mandated that all 5 matches be played regardless. This is, of course, an initiative that gives all 7 players on each team a chance to
Service over,
participate.
4-3.
Of course, these youth need all the exposure they can get at this stage. That's a lovely touch there from
Service over,
Mak Wei Chi.
4 all.
4-all.
Service over, 5-4.
Yeah. We've seen this throughout the tournament. I was commentating
Out.
here at Canberra Secondary on
Service
Tuesday
over,
as well.
5 all.
Yesterday at Victoria School, Monday at Hwa Chong Institution. It seems a very common error that a lot of players are making, both boys and girls,
6,
is
5.
unforced errors on the serve, which is really something you can ill afford to do. I'm sure that these youth spend
Service
hours and
over.
hours practicing their serves and
6
perfecting
all.
them in training, so they can minimize the error count during game time. But perhaps the pressure of the
7,
situation,
6.
and pressure can do funny things, and oftentimes results in unnecessary
8,
errors.
6.
8-6 now to Xinmin. Yuan, the captain, is a very composed player, hardly shows much emotion, but the powers of concentration
Service over, 7,
really
8.
quite amazing. Of course, none of these girls are the finished article just yet, but
Service
the
over,
talent
9.
and the ability that they possess at this age is quite remarkable. Now, obviously, that said, many of them that do show tremendous potential are
Service
selected
over.
by the Singapore
8,
Badminton
9.
Association folks to be part of the national intermediate squad. Within that squad, they get an opportunity to train
Service over.
outside of
10,
school hours
8.
with the elite players. So, yeah, really a great opportunity, these games for
Service over.
young boys and girls of the various zones
9,
to be
10.
talent spotted. The NIS, in fact, starts from the ages of 13 and 14, so even from the C division, if they show potential, they could have a chance to move up the ranks and train with the best. And Singapore, of course, does really well in badminton, especially if you've looked at historical SEA Games results.
10 all.
Of course, there isn't as much money made in the sport of badminton as there is,
Over.
for example,
11, 10,
in tennis,
interval.
but there is no higher honor than playing for your country. As we head into the first interval of this second match, Xinmin have taken a slender 11-10 advantage. Now, of course, at the end of every game, there's also a 2-minute interval in between each match, another 2-minute rest period. But in general, not a whole lot of breathing time for these players. Badminton is a very fast and explosive
Part 1,
sport.
20 seconds. Part 1, 20
And
seconds.
tennis, every 3 games is a changeover. You get 30 to 60 seconds of rest,
11.
but not so in badminton. So
11,
fitness
10,
levels need to be
play.
immaculate, to say the least. That said, none of these girls seem to have that in short supply.
Service over.
It's
11 all.
really key, I think, to exploit and capitalize on the points that really matter. That's what
Service
separates
over. 12,
the
11.
good from the great. 11 all.
Service over.
Just
12
wide from
all.
Xinmin skipper Yuan.
Out.
Oh, well left.
Service over.
12 all.
13, 12.
Beg your pardon. 13-12 to Xinmin. We don't have scoreboards here, so sometimes clarity on the exact scores as
14,
needed.
12.
Oh, lovely court coverage from Yuan.
15, 12.
3-point gap now for Xinmin Secondary in the second match. They've, of course, taken the first match. They lead 1-0 in this 5-match tie. And they'll be well on their way to making that 2-0
16, 12.
if they take this first game, which they're just 5 points away from doing. Yep, well left. Good judgment there
Service over. 13,
from
16.
Mak Wei Chi. Oh, another great smash from Yuan. She's
Service over.
covering that front part of the court
17,
really, really well.
13.
Great movement. Not sure if she's nursing a knee injury or whether that's just providing compression support to allow her to move faster.
In or out.
But certainly doesn't look like she's hampered by it, so
In or?
judging by those smashes.
18, 13.
3
Sorry?
points now from sealing game 1,
13,
Xinmin.
correct.
And just wide
19,
from
13.
Julia Ng. Trying to be too cute with that serve was
It's
Yuan.
over. 14,
Perhaps a
19.
bit of complacency creeping in towards the back end of this game. Tan Yi-chi, though, making up for that previous unforced error by her skipper. And it's good to see that Bowen not going to let Xinmin just run away with this one. Again, good fight shown there, reducing the deficit to 4.
16-20.
Still 3 game points, I beg your pardon, for Xinmin. Another error there. Tan Yi-chi.
17-20.
I think that's 3 or 4 straight points now for Bowen. Oh, good recovery. Just didn't have enough to get that over. Did Mak Wei-chi. So Xinmin draw first blood in the first doubles match here at Canberra Secondary's Indoor Sports Hall. 21 points, I beg your pardon, to 17. We will be back in about 60 seconds with Game 2 action.
Level play.
The players switch sides for Game 2. Xinmin prevailing in Game 1 of this first doubles match against Bowen Secondary. This is, of course, they lead 1-0 in the 5-match tie, having prevailed in the first singles. Just a reminder that this is the 3rd and 4th playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship that you're watching. You can catch this live stream by visiting us at go.gov.sg/NSG. You can also watch the coverage later or catch up on fixtures and results across a range of other sports. We're also live on SG Sports TV's official YouTube channel. On court 3, just several meters to my left, we have the grand final taking place between CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls School and Singapore Chinese Girls School.
5 love.
SCGS also leading 1-0 in that tie, and their first doubles matchup is also ongoing.
Service over. 1.
Commentary for that match is being provided by Abhishek Ravakrishnan and Wei Han, Singapore national team doubles player.
Service over. 6-1.
Keep your eyes peeled for that contest as well. We'll bring you all the results as and when they come through. Meanwhile, Xinmin have taken a racy 6-1 lead in Game 2.
7-1.
Pairing of Yun
8-1.
and Tan Yi-chi proving a bit too hot to handle for Mak Wei-chi and Julia Ng of Bowen at the moment.
Service over. 2-8.
Both these sides obviously coming unstuck in the semi-final stage. Xinmin losing to CHIJ St. Nicholas 1-4, while Bowen were whitewashed by SCGS 5-0. But they've done or had reasonably stellar runs to the semi-final.
10-2.
Xinmin topped Group C in the initial group stages. They in fact won all 4 of their Group C matches by 5 matches to none against Marsiling Secondary, Christchurch Secondary, Edgefield Secondary and Pei Hua Secondary. So unblemished 4 from 4 in Group C for Xinmin. Bowen, on the other hand, had to claw their way back in Group D. They eventually finished second, but they lost to Canberra 2-3 first match before mounting a comeback against Evergreen Secondary 4-1, Nan Chau 3-2, and then Samoang a resounding 5-0. So 3 wins from 4, 7 points for second place. The top 2 teams from each group then proceeded to the quarterfinal stage. There are 2 groups of 4.
Service over. 3-11.
And in Group X, Xinmin and Bowen were actually grouped together.
12-3.
Xinmin unbeaten, defeating Bowen 4-1. CHIJ St. Joseph's 5-0. Compassvale Secondary 5-0. Bowen, well, they lost to Xinmin 1-4, beat CHIJ St. Joseph's 3-2, and then beat Compassvale 5-0. So Xinmin already have, well, you could say an advantage over Bowen, having beaten them 4-1, perhaps coming into this contest the more confident of the 2 sides, and therefore perhaps why they're in the ascendancy at the moment. It's 13-4 now in the second game. Commanding lead for Xinmin.
14-4.
Yeah, it just seems that brilliant winner there from Tan Yi Chi.
15-4.
It just seems that Xinmin
Service over.
covering the court a lot better.
5-15.
Perhaps the coordination is better between the pairings. And the strategy seems on point. Another great smash from the Xinmin skipper
Service
Yuan.
over. 16-5.
Yuan actually originally hailing from
Service
Vietnam.
over. 6-16.
I was speaking to Bowen's coach before this contest and asking him about who these girls look up to in the professional badminton circuit.
7-17.
And the one name that he came up with was Tsai Tzu Ying. She's the Taiwanese world #1. So a lot of the Bowen girls draw inspiration from her,
8-17.
which is lovely to see, of course. And it would be great one day to have some of these girls represent Singapore at the highest level in the sport. Now we see a bit of show of
9-17.
emotion there from Julia Ng of Bowen. Not seen a lot of that thus far. Perhaps coming a little too late. Too little too late. With Xinmin leading 18-9 in this second game of the second match in this 5-match tie. It's 3 points from the match now, Xinmin. Another unforced error there from Mak
19,
Wei Chi.
9.
Really gifting the point away to Xinmin. And again, just not quite finding her feet. Match point now. Another resounding win, it looks like, for the Xinmin girls. And there it is. A very comfortable straight games victory in this first doubles of the third, fourth player for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship. 21-17, 21-9. Xinmin prevailed. They lead 2-0 in this 5-match tie. They need one more to secure third place. We will be back with the second singles in just about 60 seconds.
your things away from the line. Listen, take the new shot. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Xinmin Secondary, represented by Alison Margaret Lu Li Hong. And on my left, Bowen Secondary, represented by Suresh Hashida. Xinmin Secondary to serve, Lebo, play.
Now, welcome back, ladies and gents, to Sports Singapore's live coverage of the 2021 National School Games. I'm Imad Akhtar. And a pleasure to bring you coverage from Canberra Secondary. This is the fourth playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship between Xinmin Secondary and Bowen Secondary.
1-all.
We are on court number 1. Xinmin have taken a 2-0 lead in this 5-match tie, having won the first singles and the first doubles. We are currently witnessing the second singles match for this afternoon between Xinmin's Alison Margaret and Bowen's Suresh Harshida. Over on court number 3, just a few meters to my left, the final is taking place between CHIJ, St. Nicholas Girls' School, and Singapore Chinese Girls' School. SCGS also 2-0 up in that tie. As the results filter in, we will update you. Now, this is a 5-match tie. Following this, we'll have the second doubles and third singles. Should Xinmin prevail 3-0 or 3-1, we will still play out that final match, or the final 2 matches, depending on how this one turns out, because the conveners and organizers have mandated that all 7 players in each squad get a chance to participate. So a wonderful initiative there from the NSG. Alison Margaret and Suresh Harshida contesting a very, very close first game here. 5-4 to Bowen Secondary. I'm not sure how these players are seeded. The team sheets don't indicate as such, but interesting to know whether the coaches push the best players out first or spread their resources evenly throughout the 5 matches. It's a tough decision because you want to get your team off to a good start, as Xinmin have done. But should you enter the final match
7-4,
deadlocked at 2-all, you also want your best players to be there to ensure that you can get over the line. Nonetheless, all 14 of these players are very, very talented and very skilled. So from 4-all to 9-4, 10-4, 6 straight points for Suresh Harshida. She has opened up a commanding lead of Alison Margaret as we head into the first interval. Of course, it is imperative for Suresh Harshida. She looks extremely focused. It's imperative for her to try and help Bowen claw their way back into this tie. And so she must be very, very keen to win this contest. It shows. The Xinmin coach there having a word with Alison Margaret, perhaps telling her to keep things simple. I'm not trying to overcomplicate the situation, which tends to happen when you're put under a bit of pressure. Crowd's fairly sparse, unfortunately. And that's of course due to the COVID-19 protocols and restrictions. And the only people allowed in the arena, teams and coaches, organizers, conveners, technical crew, match commentators. No parents, unfortunately. But fear not, because you can visit us at go.gov.sg /NSG to catch this live stream as well as others. There are countless other matches across different sports going on. And you can watch the
13-4.
You can watch replays as well towards the end of your working day if you wish. Catch up on fixtures and results. We're also live on SG Sports TV's official YouTube channel.
5-13.
5:13. Alison Margaret in a bit of trouble. She needs to find her way back into this contest. She needs to get the engines going, because badminton is such a fast and explosive sport that the game can run away with you in the blink of an eye, which is exactly what's happening here. Suresh Arshida is racing away to the first game.
13.
Of course, for the neutral spectator, it would be wonderful to see Bowen claw their way back and reduce the deficit in this tie to 1-2. Because if Alison Margaret does prevail, then Xinmin will be declared the victors and will secure their spot as the third place finishers in the North Zone B Division Girls Championship. Suresh Hashida,
16-7.
slightly bigger build than her opponent and slightly taller as well. And perhaps that is working to her advantage. She's got a longer reach, bigger strides.
16.
Good judgment there
Service
from
over.
Suresh Hashida.
17-8.
17-8 now, 4 points from game one. Another miss, another unforced error. Can really ill afford to
18-8.
make such errors at this stage of the game. It seems like the... Oh, good comeback there from Alison Margaret.
Service over.
Finding the
9-18.
smash in the cross court. She's going to have to hit a lot more of those. She's going to come close to pushing Suresh in this first game. That's in as well.
10-18.
A bit of confidence now being drawn. Alison Margaret. Both players wiping their feet. Of course, it can get a little bit slippery due to droplets of sweat that fall on the court from the players. It is, of course, also very humid in this indoor sports hall.
19-10.
Fans are available, but they cannot be used, of course, because they may negatively affect the trajectory of the birdie, which is extremely lightweight object. I'd imagine the same applies to table tennis, the ping pong.
20, game point 10.
Game point now for Suresh Hashida. Just long,
Service over. 11-20.
but still 8 or 9 game points for the Xinmin girl. And there it is. She didn't need 8 or 9, she needed
Game
only
won by
one more.
Bowen Secondary.
Suresh Hashida prevails on behalf of
21-11.
Bowen Secondary in the first game of the third match of this 5-match tie. 21 points to 11. Can Alison Margaret mount a comeback in game 2? She will need to if she wants to push this to a decider. We'll find out in just a bit.
Second game, level play.
Yeah, we saw during the interval there the Xinmin coach having a fair bit to say to Alison Margaret. He's gesticulating and quite animated. Didn't really draw much of an emotional response from Alison, but I'm sure she got the message.
Service over, 1-all.
Of course, Suresh Hashida taking that first game rather comfortably, 21 points to 11. She'll be looking to make light work of the second game as well and bring Bowen back into the tie. They're trailing 2-love. This is the third and fourth playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship. We're at Canberra Secondary, court number 1. Over in court 3, the finals taking place between CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls School and Singapore Chinese Girls School. The latter, of course, have been rather dominant throughout the course of this competition. SCGS are also taking a commanding 2-0 lead in the tie. We will bring you scores as and when they come through. But do tune in to that match if you can at home. The commentators for that one, Abhishek Ravikrishnan and Wei Han, the Singapore national team doubles competitor. Meanwhile, 3-4 here in game 2. A bit of a tame effort there from Alison Margaret. And again,
5-3.
She looks to be having discussions with her coach after every point. Sometimes it's just about relaxing and enjoying the occasions. It's as simple as that.
6-3.
Of course, easier said than done when you're in a pressure situation and wanting to win points, and when your teammates and compatriots are watching you.
Okay, play on.
But ultimately, these girls play for the passion of the sport, and that's what they need to remember when they're on court.
7-3.
7-3 now to Suresh Hashida. Oh, well played, well played. No.
Service over, 4-7.
Approval there from Alison Margaret's coach. Towards the extreme right of your screen. Probably not visible. Yep, Suresh Hashida there, very uncharacteristic of her, missing a fairly straightforward smash. Went into the middle of the net. 7-5, Alison Margaret clawing her way back steadily to this game. Oh, great smash. Good comeback from Suresh Hashida.
6-7.
Oh, I beg your pardon, that was wide. My apologies. Point goes to Alison Margaret, who now trails by just a single point. Yeah, that was an easy smash. Good get from Alison Margaret to get that birdie back in play, but by the time it sailed over the net,
yeah, I can hear. Okay.
it was too late.
6.
Oh, the umpire's just given a, I suppose you could say, a mild warning to Xinmin's coach not to dole out any words of advice during the course of play.
10-6.
10-6 now to Suresh Hashida. Oh, lovely touch there. As we head into the interval, probably going to be another animated discussion between Xinmin coach and player. It's the coach explaining himself, maybe. that warning, apologizing to the umpire. If he did, in fact, dish out some words of advice to his player, they were unintentional. Of course, between points, that is allowed, but during play, it's off limits. All's good.
11-6,
This game is being played in a fairly good spirit. 11-6. Yeah, Alison Margaret, it seems that Suresh Ashida is a deliberate ploy to be just hitting that smash to Alison Margaret's backhand, which is slightly weak.
7-12.
And on more occasions than one, she's not been able to get that backhand back over the net. So very smart play from Suresh Ashida.
Service over, 13-7.
Yep, 13-7 now. Out again.
14-7.
Here's Alison Margaret. Really struggling here.
15-7.
His shots are landing a fair distance out the tram lines. Oh, that's a good point. Suresh Ashida in total command of this second game. And she's toying with her opponent at this stage. Another lovely touch there, just over the net. Great hands, soft hands. There's Alison Margaret. Tries to stall a little bit. Well, no matter how much she tries to stall or buy time, it's not going to stop Suresh Ashida. Just like a juggernaut at the moment. Racing away here. Oh, lovely. A rare point there for Xinmin secondary. Alison Margaret. 8-18. This match is a foregone conclusion, it seems, but one thing she can do is try and push her opponent to the limit, make her earn the points. Couldn't do it on that occasion. Another unforced error. Seen far too many of those from Alison Margaret's racket. Yeah, too good from Suresh Ashida. And here we go, match point. And a great way to do it with a lovely drop. A touch of the rackets at the net. Bowen secondary. 21-11, 21-8. Comfortably victorious, comfortably home. And they reduce the deficit to just one. So Xinmin lead 2-1 overall in this 5-match tie. We will join the action in about 2 minutes with the second doubles match of this afternoon. Stay tuned.
Secondary, represented by Annika and Yolanda. And on my left, Bowen Secondary, represented by Natalie Ang and Chan Pei Yi. Bowen Secondary to serve, Natalie to Annika, Level, play.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. I'm Imad Akhtar. You're watching Sports Singapore's live coverage of the 2021 National School Games. This is the third and fourth playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship between Xinmin Secondary and Bowen Secondary. Xinmin lead the 5-match tie, 2 matches to 1, I beg your pardon. Xinmin won the first singles and the first doubles before Bowen came back to win the second singles. This is the second doubles now. Xinmin racing off to a 4-0 lead in game 1. Representing Xinmin, we have Annika Chong Wei Chi. She is wearing a knee brace or compression sleeve, if you want to call it that, on her right knee. And Yolanda Theo. And in the blue of Team Bowen, we have Natalie Ang Jia-ju, who's wearing the white sneakers, and her partner Chen Pei Yu, who is wearing the blue sports shoes. 6-love, bagel as they call it in tennis jargon. Make that 7. This is quite a start.
7-love.
We're on court 1. You might be hearing the cheers externally. Those are coming from court number 3, just to a few meters to my left. A riveting second singles is being played out in the final between CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls School and SCGS. It is 1 game all. They're playing the decider in that singles. SCGS are 2-love up in the tie, so it's critical for St. Nicholas to come back. We'll keep you abreast of the scores in that match as they come through. Commentators in that contest, Abhishek Ravikrishnan and Wei Han, who's a Singapore badminton national doubles team competitor.
Service over, 2-9.
You almost forget how quickly the game of badminton goes, because Xinmin already 9-2 up, 10-2 in this first game, probably trying to avenge that previous loss. Of course, if they do seal this match as we head into the first interval, if they do seal this match, then they will be declared the winners and will cement their spot as the third place finishers for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship. If that does happen, we will still be playing the 5th and final match, the third singles. This is to ensure, of course, in the interest of fair play, that all 7 players on each team get a chance to participate. Natalie Ang Jia-ju and Chen Pei Yu have their work cut out for them. 2-11 they're trailing. 2-12 make it.
12-2.
Yolanda Theo and Annika Chong Wei Chi. They have been rather dominant thus far. I was mentioning earlier that these 2 teams have already squared off on 1 occasion. At the quarter-final stage, they were in the same group of 4, Group X, and in that encounter, Xinmin defeated Bowen 4-1.
14-2.
So I'm sure the coaches and the team must have drawn inspiration and a whole lot of confidence from that victory. This is, of course, a
Service over.
different stage of the tournament.
3-14.
It may not be the final, but
Service over. 15-3.
third, fourth is a pretty important contest.
Service over. 4-15.
Yeah, this is quickly turning into a very one-sided affair. Yolanda Theo and Annika Chong Wei Chi
Service
in
over.
absolutely sizzling form.
16-4.
Obviously aided by the fact that their opponents gifting them some rather unnecessary unforced errors. But you can also credit the Xinmin girls for
17-4.
putting pressure on their opponents. And really shut them out in this first game. Really not allowed them to play freely
18-4.
at all. 18-4 now, 3 games away from a very, very dominant first game victory. Yeah, there again. Natalie and Chen Peiyu
19-4.
haven't gotten into the groove just yet. Appear to be waiting for things to happen, whereas
Game point.
Yolanda
4.
Theo and Annika Chong Wei Chi asserting their dominance, playing a rather aggressive brand of badminton.
5-20.
I think when the Team Bowen pair come out in the second game, as we see the end of the first, 21 points to 5. Very, very dominant display indeed from Xinmin. But when the Bowen ladies come back out for game 2, they're really going to have to change the strategy, because the one they're employing right now is clearly not working. We'll be back for game 2 action in just about 60 seconds. Apologies there if you missed the start of that second game. Xinmin 1-0 up. 21-5 in the first game of this fourth match.
Service over. 1-all.
So third and fourth playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship. We are on court 1, ladies and gents, at the Canberra Secondary Indoor Sports Hall. Now, just a reminder that Xinmin lead this 5-match tie by 2 matches to 1. And if they do win this game, they will secure third spot in the North Zone B Division Girls Championship.
3-1.
Bowen will be doing the level best through Natalie Jiaju and Chen Peiyu to prevent that from happening. And they've made a good start to that cause in game 2.
Service over.
Barring that rather unnecessary unforced error. The lead 3-2.
Court.
3-all now.
3-all.
Great smash by Annika Chong Wei Chi, who is wearing a knee brace on her right knee. Similar to what her skipper was wearing,
4-3.
Yuan, in an earlier doubles match. Not sure if it's down to any particular injury
5-3.
or abrasion, or if it's just to enhance performance. Either way, it doesn't seem to be hampering her at all.
6-3.
So 5 consecutive points now for Xinmin. As we see Yolanda Theo
Service over. 4-6.
pushing that just wide. Now over on
Service over.
court number 3, the grand final, the showpiece
7-4.
of this North Zone B Division Girls Championship is taking place. That's between CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls School and Singapore Chinese Girls School. SCGS 2-0 up in the 5-match tie. The third match still ongoing. It's the second singles, and it is into a deciding game. So rather exciting contest going on there. Of course, CHIJ will be looking to win that game, because if they don't, SCGS will be crowned
10-5.
the champions of this division in this zone.
Sport 11-5 interval.
As we see Xinmin again racing into a lead. And his second doubles match, 11-5 at the interval. Now, you may be wondering what the National Sports Games, School Games, I beg your pardon, is all about. Badminton. It's just one of 12 sports taking place, all non-contact, of course, owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we also have tennis, table tennis, volleyball, sepak takraw, wushu, taekwondo, shooting, golf,
11-5
rope skipping,
play.
bowling, and gymnastics for your viewing pleasure. 12,000 students from 270 schools, both primary and secondary, are competing in this year's NSG. And that should really benefit the youth sports scene in Singapore. Now, the full NSG complement is 29 sports typically. That includes contact sports like cricket and rugby. But of course,
Service over. 13-6.
not possible in the times of COVID-19. In previous years, we've had 60,000 students competing. And the last time around, that was in 2019, because of the gap in last year's calendar. Hopefully the full complement will happen in 2022 or by 2023.
Service over. 7-14.
That's in your future. In the here and now, Xinmin appear to be racing towards that third place finish. They are 14-7 up now in game 2, match 4. 1 game up.
8-14.
Yolanda Theo and Annika Chongwei Chi flying the Xinmin flag very high indeed. Natalie Ang Jia Ju and Chen Pei Yu, well, can't really fault the two young ladies for effort, but
15-8.
they've run into a freight train at the moment in the form of their Xinmin opponents. No. It's just brilliant play by both Yolanda Theo and Annika Chong.
8.
2 or 3 attempted smashes in that last point, and they had the wherewithal to return all 3 and force an error to win the point. 16-8 now. Looks a rather insurmountable task. 17-8. Looks a rather insurmountable task for Bowen to complete. That's a rare winner for them.
Service over. 9-17. Service over. 18-9.
18-9 now. It's Team Xinmin head ever closer to
19-9.
that third place finish. They've been clinical, composed. That one's right down the middle, splitting the two
20,
Xinmin
match
girls
point
in half.
9.
They had no answer to that smash from Yolanda Theo. Oh, good attempt from Yolanda Theo
over.
there to get the ball back in, but
10,
still
20.
plenty of match points available for the Xinmin girls. And there it is. So Xinmin secondary
Match won by
win
Xinmin
this
Secondary,
second
21-5,
doubles match,
21-10.
this 5-match contest. It means that they have taken an unassailable 3-1 lead in the tie. They have secured third position in the North Zone B Division Girls Championship. We will be playing the 5th match, the third singles, in the interest of fair play, just to ensure that the last two competitors have an opportunity to participate. But the news here is from Canberra Secondary, court number 1, Xinmin secured third position. And we'll be back with the final singles match of this afternoon in just about 60 seconds.
You must wear your mask first. You must go and collect your mask. Tossing, you still need to wear mask. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Xinmin Secondary, represented by Mavis Na. And on my left, Bowen Secondary, represented by Chen Ke-Qing. Bowen Secondary to serve, level, play.
Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gents, to Canberra Secondary's Indoor Sports Hall. We are on Court 1 for this fourth playoff North Zone B Division Girls Championship between Xinmin Secondary School and Bowen Secondary. If you missed the earlier action, Xinmin have already secured their berth as the third place finishers of this competition. They lead the 5-match tie by 3 matches to 1, having won the first singles, first doubles, and second doubles. The second singles was, of course, won by Bowen to reduce the deficit to 1-2, but the doubles pairing of Annika Chongwei-Chi and Yolanda Theo ensured that this current match will be a dead rubber. Now, the reason we are playing this match, the third singles, is because the NSG has mandated that all 7 players on each squad get a chance to participate, which I think is an absolutely wonderful initiative. Now, representing Xinmin in this final singles, Mavis Na Chin Ro, and in the blue for Team Bowen, Chen Ke-Qing. Chen Ke-Qing towering over her opponent height-wise, but I'm sure that whatever Mavis Na Chin Ro lacks in height, she more than makes up for in skill and talent. You can see a whole lot of that now. She has taken a 7-3 lead in the first game. Now, over on court number 3, just a few meters to my left, the final, the showpiece event of this North Zone B Division Golf Championship is taking place at CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls School and Singapore Chinese Girls School. SCGS took a 2-0 lead, winning the first singles and first doubles, but St. Nicholas came back in grand style in the second singles. After being 1 game down in that singles, they came back to win the match by 2 games to 1. So brilliant comeback victory to keep St. Nicholas in the tie. And the second doubles is underway. So St. Nicholas will really want to continue that momentum and take the contest into a decider. And what a decider that will be if we get to that point.
11-6 interval.
As we head into the first interval for this 5th match between Xinmin and Bowen Secondary, 11-6 to Xinmin, a healthy 5-point advantage. The Xinmin coach, I spoke to him ahead of the contest. Quite an animated fellow and very passionate about this team. He was mentioning to me that the girls put in a lot of effort during the week, 3 times a week for 3 hours at a time and training, and this is on top of the schoolwork and extracurricular activities that they are burdened with. And of course, some of them, as he mentioned to me, take extra lessons. So to balance all of that schoolwork with badminton, it was quite a commendable achievement indeed. 11-7 now.
Yeah. 12-7.
Bit of a giveaway there from Chen Ke-Qing. She stabbed the backhand out. We saw earlier in the singles
13-7.
Xinmin girl attacking her opponent's backhand with a smash, and they seem to be deploying the same tactic in this contest.
Service over. 8-13.
Now, the
Out. Service over. 14.
the quality of these players cannot be understated. Obviously, this being Division B, we're looking at girls in Secondary 3 and Secondary 4, ages about 15 to 16 years old. Some of these girls, of course, the future of Singapore in the sport of badminton. And those that show tremendous potential, selected by the Singapore Badminton Association folks to be a part of the national intermediate squad. So the NIS, they get a wonderful opportunity to train outside of school hours with the elite players. So the NSG really offers all and sundry, all participants a good platform to be talent spotted. The NIS starts from the ages of 13 and 14 even, so from the C division, if you show potential, you have a wonderful chance to move up the ranks. And Singapore, of course, does very, very well historically in badminton, particularly in the SEA Games. And there's, of course, no higher honor than playing for your country. So perhaps one day, one of these girls
17-11.
and boys
17.
will be flying the Singapore flag high. And what a day that will be for them. For now, though,
18-11.
this is the biggest competition that they have, and of course they are being watched. This live stream is available at go.gov.sg/NSG, and we're also live on SG Sports TV's official YouTube channel. So do support these young girls. They need as much encouragement as they can, because it will really help the visibility of badminton and these games across the island. 13-19 now. Xinmin and Mavis Narchin Rowe, 2 points from game 1. That's just long. Chen Kei-ching is not going to throw in the towel so easily. She's going to make her opponent sweat for these last 2 points, as she should. Oh, didn't make her break a sweat then. It was a rather unnecessary service error. Game point.
First game won by Xinmin Secondary.
Rather lucky end to the first game for Mavis Narchin Rowe, but she's not going to be complaining. She takes the first game of this 5th match, 21 points to 14. We will join the action for game 2 in about 60 seconds. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. welcome back to the live action. You see Mavis Na Chunro of Xinmin against Chen Kei-ching. This is the final match, the third singles of the 5-match tie between the two teams. Xinmin have secured a victory in this fourth playoff for the North Zone B Division Girls Championship. They are leading 3-1 in the tie, an unassailable lead. And,
service over, 3-1.
Bowen could, of course, win this. 2. Numb a bit of the pain of losing. A 2-3 deficit won't look as bad, but Xinmin already in the ascendancy. They've won the first game and they're 4-1 up in the second. So that doesn't look likely.
5-1.
5-1 now for Xinmin. And that sounded like a bit of a miss hit, but they all count. Landed in. 2-5. Just a reminder, we are on court 1, Canberra Secondary. Over on court 3. A very riveting tie being played out between CHIJ St. Nicholas School and Singapore Chinese Girls School. That is the grand final of this North Zone B Division Girls Championship. SCGS lead by 2 matches to 1, and they are playing the second doubles, 4th match overall at the moment. If we get any updates and scores, we'll be sure to let you know.
9-2.
Score, meanwhile, over in court 1. It's a rather dominant one in favour of Mavis Na Chunro, 9-2.
Service over.
There's Mavis Na taking a little bit of time to do up her shoelace.
3-9.
Often happens when you're running at such high speeds. Yeah, lovely smash, an easy one.
10-3.
10-3. So enjoying the color coordination, Mavis now. Black sock on the left and a white sock on the right. Perhaps it's a superstition.
Service over. 4-10.
Maybe it's just the way she likes to play, but whatever it is, it's working for her because she's 1 game up and 10 points to 4 up, 11 points to 4 up
11 for interval.
in the second as we head into the first interval of game number 2. Now, on the camera angle available to you, you probably have noticed that there are limited spectators here today, and that is owing to the COVID-19 pandemic and related restrictions and protocols. The only people allowed in the NSG arena are the teams themselves and the coaches, organizers, conveners, technical crew, and match commentators. That said, there's no reason to fear because we are telecasting this on a live stream. You can visit go.gov.sg to catch this match as well as several others across a range of other sports. And we're also live on SG Sports TV's official YouTube channel.
13-4.
13-4 now to Mavis Na Chunro. She is running away with this one. Just 7 points away from securing a straight games victory. If memory serves me correctly, I believe none of the matches today have gone into a deciding game, so they've all been rather convincing wins. And of course, should Xinmin emerge victorious here, they will have replicated their earlier performance against Bowen Secondary in the quarterfinal stage. And at that stage, they had also defeated their opponents by 4 matches to 1. So a resounding performance really from Xinmin.
16-6.
Skipper Yuan and her charges have really been quite outstanding today. Barring the one game that they lost, they have been an unstoppable force. 17-6 now, just 4 points from victory. Mavis Nachenroe.
18-6.
Yeah, another unforced error.
19-6.
Of course, can't fault Chen Kei-ching for effort here. She's certainly given it her best, but it just hasn't been enough, and sometimes you have to tip your hat to your opponent, who has outclassed her in all departments today. Match point. And unable to finish it off. That was the longest rally of the entire match, actually, on match point. And Mavis Nachenroe has prevailed rather comfortably, 21-14, 21-6. And Xinmin Secondary have completed a 4-1 victory in this third and fourth playoff. They have cemented their position as the third best team in this North Zone B Division Girls Championship. Just to recap, Xinmin winning the first singles, this first doubles, before Bowen came back. A valiant effort in the second singles to bring the tie back to, well, the deficit down to 2-1. But the second doubles and the third singles were won by Xinmin, and they ended up winning overall by 4 matches to 1. Now, if you are still watching our coverage, which I highly recommend you do, and you can go to go.gov.sg/NSG to catch the remainder of the final of this competition. That's between CHIJ St. Nicholas School and Singapore Chinese Girls School. That is just a few meters to my left. It's taking place on court 3. As it currently stands, SCGS are 2-1 up in that 5-match tie. They won the first singles and the first doubles before St. Nicholas came back to win the second singles, I beg your pardon. And the second doubles is currently ongoing. So do tune in to that contest if you can. But it has been an absolute pleasure to take you through this match. My name is Ahmad Akhtar, signing off here from Canberra Secondary Indoor Sports Hall.